What's up, sneaker fans? Thanks for tuning in to a More Than Hype review, and in this video we'll be taking a look at these right here, the Maniere and Jordan brand collaboration on the the Jordan Air Ship PE. This is not the first time that they've collabed on this specific silhouette. The first, and it actually might be the first release of the Airship aside from the band colorway, but even those are a little bit different from what we're getting now, was that blue colorway. I'll pull it up like right here. These came out and they were super limited. These on the other hand are not limited at all, and in fact you can get these right now for under retail. So these released back in August, on August 3rd, retail price of $140. I was able to get my pair because they officially released on Sneakers app last week, and seeing these in hand, I'm definitely gonna get a second pair and send these back to Nike because I did pay that full retail price. But you can already get them for under retail on pretty much all the sites. Before I get too off track, the Airship has been one of my all-time favorite silhouettes for 2023, 2022 because of the quality of the materials on these. Full grain leather, we get nubuck. They use a lot of really interesting materials on Airships. We got crackled leather on some of the colorways. I'm not sure what happened to the Bike Air ones, but those looked really nice too with the suede. These come with a nubuck. Overall, just a really high quality shoe, especially for the price. And it's flying under a bunch of radars because people look at this, they're not sure what it is. And if you happen to be one of those people and you clicked on this video, let's get right into the review, as we usually do, starting with the packaging. And since these are technically a collaboration, they do come with a special box. Maniere, sort of printed or embossed on the box itself all over. A very nice subtle touch, but you can see that the box itself matches the colorway, and that has been pretty consistent throughout all of the Airship releases that we've gotten so far. You can see here it says 1984, Airship PE. I think they're all PEs, to be honest, so we can ignore that, but this is also a PESP. Inside you get the Maniere paper, nothing really too exciting. Another Maniere A logo on the bottom. But taking a look at our label here, as you can see I got an 8.5. That is my true size, and I do find that Airships run true to size. They fit a little bit more like the Jordan 1 85s versus just regular Jordan 1 releases. And what I mean by that is lengthwise, I find that these are true to size, but widthwise, especially in the toe box, these do fit a little bit more snug than regular Jordan 1s. This specific colorway comes with a really thick polyurethane insole, which I feel makes these fit a little bit more snug than other Airships that I have. So I got my true 8.5, and these fit like a glove. So go true or go up, definitely not down. One last thing before moving on. Every single Airship PE that I've bought so far has come with this owner's manual, and this thing is really cool because it gives you a breakdown of the shoe, a little bit about the history. I think it's small things like these that Nike used to include with their shoes, retro cards, and other just diagrams and breakdowns of the tech inside the shoes that really got me into shoes. And so I'm hoping that I see more of this sort of stuff in future Jordan releases. But that's about it for the packaging. Now let's take a closer look at these shoes, starting with the upper. Alright, so now I got these out the box. Let's take a closer look at these, starting with the upper. Now, there's a few things that you might not know if you don't have a pair of Airships in hand, or you've never seen them in hand, starting with the construction of this wing piece right here. So if we look under here, there's actually a piece of elastic that's separating your eyelets from this piece to this wing piece here, which I always thought was a really interesting design choice. It does kind of work in that it helps the shoe fit a little bit nicer compared to Jordan 1s. I will say right now that I find that Airships are more comfortable for me and my foot shape compared to Jordan 1s. That's not really saying much because, I mean, we've all seen that photo of MJ's feet literally bleeding while he's wearing a pair of Jordan 1s or trying to play in a pair of Jordan 1s. So it's definitely not about comfort, but the construction of the upper, or the way it is put together does help with the comfort. The majority of your upper is in this smooth, according to the pamphlet, full grain leather in this white color. And yeah, it's just really nice. You can see here the sort of grain of the leather when I stress it. Wherever, really, it's all really nice stuff. So, and it's the same material, which is kind of surprising, because typically what Jordan Brand will do is they'll use nice materials on certain panels, and then on others, especially like this piece right here that goes around your toe box, they'll use something that's inferior, and that is not the case with these. So glad to see that. But all white all around, nothing different with the paneling or the stitching or any of that. Moving on to our nubuck pieces here. So we have black nubuck as our accent color and material. That's something that it seems is exclusive to the airships. They're just using a bunch of really interesting different materials on the airship, and they're using the airship silhouette as sort of their canvas for taking advantage of all of the really cool materials that we can use. We've already seen smooth leather, nubuck, suede, crackled leather, more fuzzy type suede. I mean, the list goes on, and I'm hoping to see more airship releases for this exact reason. I like it when the colorway changes are deeper than just the colors used. It goes down to the materials, and that's exactly what we have here. With that being said, this being a collab, this is a pretty simple colorway. Borderline boring. It's black and white, no frills. The nubuck here, it's okay. I mean, it's a nubuck material, so it's going to be durable. We can see here we do get that AMM Maniere A embossed into the back of our nubuck piece here. I kind of like how it's width-wise exactly the same as this strip. But overall, I feel like I would have liked them to be a little bit more adventurous here and try something, you know, kind of crazy, or use some crazy materials. And that might have been what they thought they were doing with this discoloration put on the midsole. I'll get to that in a second. Taking a look at our tongue, and we have a yellowish, almost pink peaches colored foam on the inside, and you could very obviously see it bleeding through the otherwise white color. It feels like a synthetic, probably like a polyester lining on that. Nike Air in white and black here, and then AMM Maniere on the bottom. On the back, your standard licensing stuff. These come stock with flat white laces, unlaced, and the inside is all in this really nice. This is actually, again, now we're getting into the materials. I've never seen this specific fabric material being used for an inner lining. It feels durable, not exactly soft, but not rough either. It just feels durable. Feels like something that's going to last. And for me, with my high wear shoes, I always find that the lining, like back here, gives out first before anything else on the shoe. I mean, I guess the heel as well, but if we're talking about the upper, it's usually this piece or on the side here for me. You probably already noticed we do have a sort of size stamp on the inside of our lining as well. 8.5, that's the size I got. And then we get into this sock liner. Now this sock liner is that same exact material that we got on the inner lining here. And look at this from the side angle, man. This is a beefy insole here. Gonna be really comfortable over time as it molds to your feet. Another really nice touch, we have 365, which is a shout out to the 365 collection from AMM Maniere, and then the Jordan Brand Jumpman logo, all embroidered. Now before we move on to the midsole, real quick, you do get some extras here. They come stock with white laces, but you get a pair of black laces, AMM Maniere A logo keychain, nice little extra, and then you get these white but stained kind of the same way the midsole is. So now let's talk about that. These come with a vintage or used look to them, as you can already see, but the treatment is very uneven, which kind of bothers me. Usually when Nike does something like this, or Jordan Brand they're the same. They'll use something or they'll change something to the rubber compound itself. But what we have here is actually, I'm pretty sure that this midsole started off pretty much white, and then with a sponge or a brush or something, they just kind of coated it with this extra color. Now, the execution I am not a fan of, because to me it just looks messy. It doesn't look very nice, especially how it's a little bit more intense in some places than others. If you're into the vintage look on your shoes, or that pre-worn look built into your shoes, then I think you'll really like these. They even come with a set of laces that sort of mimics that same look to it. But then that got me thinking, maybe they did this because the colorway up top was a little bit too basic, and they wanted to block out or cut up the monotony a little bit. Because if you have an all-white upper with an all-white midsole, it doesn't really feel SP as the name shows. So I don't know, maybe that was the reasoning. Anyway, there's your midsole, rubber cup sole, stitching in that same white. You can even kind of see here they got some of that stain on the stitching on the midsole itself when they were applying this stuff. And then lastly, we have our outsole that also has sort of a weathered look to it, an old look to it, with this like white stuff on it. I'm not sure how they got that on it, but this is the same treatment that they put on the reimagined Chicago ones. And again, if you like that vintage look, then these have it, and I think you'll really like these. And there you have it. That is my review of the Airship PESP from AMM Maniere. As far as the colorway goes, there's really nothing special here. It is a very simple but clean colorway that we're getting from AMM Maniere. As a collaboration, I would have liked them to try something a little bit more risky, maybe. Something a little bit more out there, but they opted for the white and black, which is always going to be a crowd pleaser. I'm not sure how I feel about the staining here. I might actually try to figure out a way to clean this up, but because the colorway is so simple, these are really easy to wear, goes with pretty much anything, and the quality of the materials, from the smooth leather, the nubuck, inside the sock liner, the lining, everything is just super nice. If you don't have a pair of Airships, then I suggest that you get a pair, especially if you're somebody that likes Jordan 1s. They are ever so slightly different, but the same. This was the shoe that started it all, and yeah, check them out. So that's about it for this review. Thanks so much for watching. If you got to the end of the video, please like, subscribe, leave me a comment if you got any questions. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.